Welcome to Expanding Your Search with Brent and jodibailey. We are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jodi welcome
licensed doctor of physical therapy and the owner of the Bump Life LLC, Dr. Kymi Brown.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and jodibailey.
Hey, it is Monday, and it is another week. We've got some great stuff going on this week. Great guests on the program. We're really excited. You want to stick around. We've got an excellent guest on today, Dr. Kymi Brown. She is a licensed physical therapist, but she also owns a company, and she's a licensed breastfeeding specialist as well. So grab anybody that you know that may be dealing with any of this and go ahead and invite them to watch the show. Before we go on, we're going to go ahead and welcome Brent to the show, and he is going to be with us. We're going to talk about what's going on today, babe.
Well, I don't have much of a voice, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot.
I know, you're a little bit hoarse.
A little bit hoarse in here, but today is a big day because for those of us who have full desktops full of unused icons, today is a big day.
Today is
National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day.
Yeah.
So delete all those old files that are on your computer that are eating up all your memory and slowing it down. Get it all cleaned off because today is the day to do it.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I know I've got a lot of stuff on my phone and trying to get my computer screen cleaned off and desktop cleaned off, but so yeah.
I know. I don't know how some people do it. I've seen desktops full all the way across the screen with an icon. It's like one side
totally
to the other,
full.
and it's
right.
like, how do you even
know
what any of that is?
I know.
It
is true. It's just too much going on there.
So,
creates confusion, disorganization.
Right. So today's the day to clean it off. Get all your unused, old, junky files off there, and get them all organized or thrown in the garbage.
Yep.
You don't need a picture that you downloaded 6 months ago for a clip art project. You don't need that anymore. You're done with it.
You don't need that.
All right. Today is also National Exascale Day. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I believe that it has something to do with those scientists and those doctors who have done lots of research and have found different breakthrough research.
Yes, in
breakthrough
medicine.
medicines. Yes, they've done something that it's just not the run-of-the-mill thing, the run-of-the-mill research. It is, which how can you ever say any scientist is doing run-of-the-mill research? But I mean, this is something that is, powerful and a breakthrough. So, those of you who are working towards that, it's your day today. Celebrate. It is your day.
Well, I don't know about this next day. I won't be celebrating.
No.
It's National No Beard Day.
No Beard Day.
Say, I know why they do it. It's because you're getting ready for No Shave November.
I was going to say, there is No Shave November coming up.
Right. So a lot of folks are getting themselves ready for it, but I'm bearded year round, so I don't.
Yes, you are.
I don't need to.
I think once or twice in our marriage you shaved, and it didn't last long.
Right before your mom and Bob got married, I shaved accidentally. I played golf.
Yes, you did. That's right.
Putt with him earlier in the day.
Yep.
Had a beard. Went to get ready and was trimming my beard, and the trim guard slipped and shaved a big bald spot, and so I had to shave it all off.
So you participated in a day like today.
Accidental shave day.
Accidental shave day. So what else is going on?
Well, it's your favorite day, National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
Chocolate Cupcake Day. It's been a while since I've made them because, I just try to not make sweet stuff because then we will eat the sweet stuff.
Yeah, but with stevia and almond
That's true.
flour,
Yeah.
I would have thought you would have already tried this.
I know. I need to. I really do. But chocolate cupcakes, when I've done homemade chocolate cupcakes, I've actually really, I can say that I'm going to pat myself on the back. They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah. In fact, I've often said that if you had your fantasy job, you could have been a
baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, I see all these different designs, and I will sit and try to, design something, and if I don't like it, I'm like, then I'm not doing it again.
Do you know how old the cupcake is?
No, how old is it?
1796.
Really?
Was when the cupcake was invented. It was a recipe notated a cake to be baked in a small cup.
Well, yeah.
And in 1828, 75 recipes for the pastries were discovered. And so, there were 75 different recipes out there.
Yeah.
And I guess somebody, Eliza Leslie's Recipes Cookbook actually won. I don't know if it was a contest or what, but their recipe won out and is kind of the one that we know about today.
Huh. Interesting.
Little history for you there.
Yeah, I got it.
That's your
history and
favorite
everything.
subject.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What else do we had going on here? It is International Leggings Day.
Leggings Day. See, that's another one that's close to the heart.
Yay.
I think every day during the pandemic when everybody was locked up was National Leggings Day.
Yeah.
And women were, gaining weight because they were putting leggings on and eating what they wanted.
Right in the middle of the throes of the pandemic, I remember our friend Sylvia that works for Bob.
Uh-huh.
She said, for all of you sitting around the house in your sweatpants and your pajamas and your leggings, it would be beneficial for you to go and put on regular pants at least once a week.
Yeah.
Just to make sure all is still right in the kingdom.
Exactly. Exactly. That is definitely
That's
something.
the danger. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
I still love leggings. LuLaRoe, is the company that sells.
Yeah, and they've kind of cooled off as
They
of
have.
late.
They
I
have.
haven't heard as much from them lately.
And they also make different, like lots of different shirts and dresses and stuff. But they started out just the leggings and different prints on them. And I've got about 6 or 7 pairs.
Yeah.
But
And you don't hear everybody raving about them like they
no,
did.
you don't.
But listen, that happened. The 80s were full of leggings. People used to wear those leggings with the
big shirts,
sweatshirts, yeah.
Yep.
And then it disappeared, and now it's back.
Now it's back. It is, and it's very comfortable.
Has its own national day, international day. So
yes.
All right, here's something else that I was looking at. Because we're going to California, everybody knows we're going out for the Increase event.
Yes.
And there is a thing on the website. There's a website that I follow that is, if you're going to visit Southern California, there is a day that they say you should eat in Costa Mesa.
Huh.
That if you're going to go to Costa Mesa, California, this is the places. Here is where you
the
can
places
have.
to go?
Well, you should eat all 3 of these, and so breakfast, lunch, and dinner at these places. Let me see if you've ever, because I know this is your neck of the woods.
Yes. Costa Mesa is by South Coast Plaza. It's all.
Yeah,
there.
it's all there.
It's
Southern
all
California
there.
at its finest.
Yes.
The first one is the hearty breakfast at the Paragon Cafe.
I haven't heard of that.
Haven't heard of that. So they say their strawberry flambe French toast.
Okay.
Is the
Great
thing
breakfast.
to get.
Yes.
There. Then to head for lunch at the. I don't even know if I'm going to say this right. Marugame, Marugame, Marugame Udon.
Oh, okay. Udon. Okay.
Anyway, I don't know.
I'm going to act like I know.
Marugame,
what it is, but
I don't know if I'm saying it right. But anyway, they're saying next you should have lunch and have a bowl of udon at Marugame
yes.
Udon.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture looks great. It's curry flavored.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Good
Then
stuff.
for dinner, it says that we should try a place called 2145. You
Huh.
ever heard of 2145?
I haven't.
They have something called Duck Carnitas Pizza, and the picture looks delicious.
Ooh, I bet it is good.
Duck Carnitas Pizza, and then they have some kind of pasta bowl underneath of it.
Huh.
Elote rigatoni.
Okay.
And it looks really good,
Really
too.
good.
So that's what it recommends. This Food Beast recommends these 3 restaurants. If you're going to be in California and
That's
you want
where
to
you
eat
need
in the
to go.
same city, that's where you want to eat.
Yeah.
At. So we should try that while we're out there.
Yeah.
If we get close.
If we get close.
All
yeah.
right.
Costa Mesa. I mean, there's a lot of places to eat there.
Yeah. There
so,
are.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there
Something else. Walmart this week will be seeing the arrival of the Christmas tree cakes from Little Debbie's.
Oh, really?
Starts this week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Only.
Christmas tree cakes,
Only
yes.
at Walmart.
Only at Walmart. At least for now.
Well, I know that at the that those have become a staple around the holidays, but I know Peyton loved those.
Yeah, he did. He
Those
did.
are really good. All right.
Yeah.
All right, last thing is McDonald's is testing the new McPlant burger. I don't know.
I don't know either. Now, I
don't
mean,
understand why everybody's listen. If you're a health food restaurant, by all means, if you're someplace that is a good, a nice restaurant, because we've done some of those places where you go to those gourmet hamburger places and they have a plant-based burger.
Yep.
I love you, McDonald's. Stay in your lane. Do your Happy Meals.
Serious.
And things like that. You don't need to even get into this.
No.
Just stay away.
I mean,
because I'm sure it's not good for you anyway.
Probably not. I mean, a plant-based Big Mac. No.
This is called the McPlant.
The McPlant. Interesting.
It looks like a quarter pounder with everything else on it. The normal ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, lettuce, pickles, onions, tomatoes. You can get it with or without cheese. The only thing healthy on it is that plant burger, and I wonder. I think it's suspect.
Well, a lot of the fast food companies are using, and I can't think of the company name, but using a company that actually sells in grocery stores. I want to say Burger King has adopted and doing that.
I'm sure McDonald's is doing that.
They probably aren't, but yeah, I don't know. Stay in your lane.
It's plant-based with some other mystery.
Mystery.
Something.
You can't even really say meat because it's plant. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not so sure we'll be giving that a try. But I will tell you this. We are getting ready to get into our interview with Dr. Kymi Brown. So stick around as we expand your search. My guest today is a friend of ours, and she's also a Kentucky native living in Florida. She is Dr. Kymi Brown. She is a licensed doctor of physical therapy and certified breastfeeding specialist. She's married. Her husband's name is Jarrell, and they have 2 amazing little boys who are the reasons that she started her company, The Bump Life, which is what we're bringing you information and awareness about today. The Bump Life LLC is a Black-owned, women-owned small business based out of Central Florida, providing support not only to those locally, but also nationally through virtual means. And they provides aid to low-income families that would otherwise be unable to access lactation and yoga services. Kymi, why don't you come on the program? Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hello.
Hi. So good to see you. How is it going? How are you all doing?
Doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah.
No complaints.
You got your hands full. Tell us, before we really get started, give us a little background on you. You went to Louisville, didn't you?
I did. I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. Went to the University of Louisville, where I got my bachelor's degree. Go Cards. And then went to Hampton University in Virginia for my doctor of physical therapy.
Awesome.
I've been in Orlando since 2016.
Wow.
With my husband Jarrell. We've been married, which Pastor Brent was the one that married us in 2017. We're coming up on 5 years now. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
And, we've got 2 little boys, a 3-year-old Azrael and a now 9-month-old Kal-El.
Kal-El. Beautiful, handsome, adorable boys. And they're all boys, aren't they? Like
all boys.
Full of energy, right?
Goodness. Yeah. Even the dog is a boy. I'm completely outnumbered.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you are
And I know
definitely.
you can relate.
Oh yeah, I sure can. Well, we've known you for, since before you all got married, and you have I know that you have studied and actually been practicing physical therapy, but um, tell me a little bit about why you started your company, The Bump Life.
When I had Azrael, I'm what I consider myself to be a first generation breastfeeder. My mom did not breastfeed, none of my aunts did. So I didn't really have any support in that in that aspect. I didn't have any family that I could call upon to ask questions, but I knew that I wanted to breastfeed. If nothing else, because of the cost of formula, it's ridiculous.
Right.
So when I had my son 3 years ago, he taught me how to breastfeed. He was like the token child. He knew exactly what to do. And it was flawless. I was able to breastfeed him 19 months with no issues. Fast forward to having my 9-month-old, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. He wouldn't latch when I had him, very sleepy baby. We had to spoon feed him in the hospital. We dealt with failure to thrive, ended up in the hospital for that because he wasn't eating. Had a tongue tie that we had to have corrected. I mean, it was just like one thing after another with him. And while I was going through this with him, I was also studying to become a certified breastfeeding specialist because I did become so impassioned with it with Azrael. And I realized that the support that I did receive through lactation consultants was very outdated. I wasn't offered a lot of the things that I ended up learning about in my training. And by the time I had learned about it was almost too late with Kal-El, because by then, he was 6-7 months old. He gotten used to the bottle. He really wasn't interested. So I'm an exclusive pumper with him. Like I exclusively pump. And so he's still getting breast milk, but by means of the bottle exclusively.
Yeah.
And so I realized that the information is out there, but a lot of the lactation consultants that the community really has access to have been in the practice for a long time and have a lot of knowledge, but aren't necessarily aware of some of the new techniques or newer techniques, and just aren't providing the information that could be beneficial in helping problem solve situations, to encourage that breastfeeding relationship. And so I'm kind of one of those fixers where it's like, well, if there's an issue, let me just help fix it.
Well, you say that, and it's great that you experience this firsthand, and it makes it easier. And I know starting companies, it's not always easy. There's so many things to it, but the drive that you have, and as long as I've known you, you are somebody that really has a lot of drive for what you were passionate about, and it's awesome. But that if you're experiencing what you experienced, that there's many others. And I know when we had our first son out, I mean, this is totally unrelated because we adopted our children, and I was not able to breastfeed, but we tried with our oldest son. We did try, and I did have some information from a lactation specialist, and she would, counsel me and do, to try and even get it to work. And it worked for, just a tiny bit, but really, then we went to bottle feeding. But tell us what your goal is for the Bump Life.
So with the Bump Life, I want to be able to get information out there. A lot of the lactation services, unless you're able to go through a local hospital or something like that, it's primarily private pay, because honestly, insurance really doesn't cover much. So most private practices, in order to stay afloat, they have to do private pay, and the average family can't afford it.
Right.
Especially if it's not a quick fix. Like the situation with Kal-El, that wasn't going to be a quick fix. Right. I mean, we had to go through a tongue tie revision and the exercises after that. on top of, trying to get him to latch and all of that. So I knew that was going to be a long process. And for the average family, you can't really afford that.
Yeah.
So my passion is to be able to provide that to the lower income, underserved, underprivileged families. On top of that, just as far as historically speaking, families of color have the lowest breastfeeding rates. And this dates all the way back to slavery, because we were typically used as wet nurses for the master's family and didn't have the opportunity to breastfeed our own families. And so it became like a generational thing and almost taboo to breastfeed after being, used as wet nurses. So a lot of Black families from previous generations didn't breastfeed. Now come along my generation and, we're learning about all the benefits from it and wanting to, but not having the familial, information, because in other cultures, they typically have, the family kind of comes around and the mothers and aunts and all that kind of, stay right there with you to help you through it. And they are your lactation consultants,
Right.
Because they've been through it with their own kids. Mm-hmm. Well, when you're, like I said, a first generation breastfeeder, you don't have that.
Right.
So you really have to come to outside sources in order to get that kind of information. And that's kind of where I want to step in and be able to, and because of everything with COVID, it's actually opened up the door to be able to be more accessible outside of your immediate area, because, everybo's Zooming and doing all those kind of virtual things now. So it's actually opened a door that didn't really exist before.
When I was reading the information, your bio, but about the company, it just more and more, so many things. I'm like, oh yeah, this means that makes so much sense. I mean, when it comes to this, any kind of trauma, anxiety, or infertility, experience, postpartum depression has an effect on all of this. But I know that you do provide other services, rather than just, well, this is what you need to do. You provide other services that go right alongside with it. What are those, and what do you have in mind for the future? Anything that you're adding in the future?
So right now, the services that are currently being offered are virtual lactation consulting, and then also breastfeeding education. I plan to do prenatal breastfeeding education so that you have the information that you need before baby gets here. So you go into it the most informed. On top of that, I'm also in the process. The service is not currently being available, but I'm in the process of getting set up to offer prenatal and postpartum yoga services. Yeah. And then also I'm going to go into training for yoga for fertility, because there is a special segment within the yoga community that specializes specifically in infertility. Wow. And helping with improve your fertility chances, so that you can conceive.
Yeah. When I know that you all offer different products, shirts and different things. And, folks, we'll give you some information about her website in just a minute, but it's a really nice, pretty, inviting website. And I know your husband has a specialty with that. So it's great. How can those that that don't necessarily need that assistance, they don't need the services, support and advance your mission of the bump?
Typically with small businesses, just sharing the information. That's usually the best way. That's how I've been able to get my clients thus far, is just talking to someone and they're like, oh, well, I actually have a niece who just had a baby and she's kind of been struggling. So that word of mouth. I am pretty present on social media. So sharing, liking, that kind of thing always helps. And then also, if you're just interested, because I am going to be looking into grants in order to be able to fund, for the underserved, underprivileged communities. So if you ever want to make donations, just reaching out to me on my website at thebump.life is a great way to be able to, financially be able to support local families as well as families all across the nation.
That's awesome. Kymi, Dr. Kymi, I'm like, I want to be proper. I love what you're doing. I absolutely love it. And I have known many women over the years who have struggled in this area. And I think it's just amazing what you're doing. Especially what I'm really excited about is we're talking about this, and this month is breast cancer awareness month.
Yeah,
and all of it, just goes hand in hand. So we're going to throw some information up on the screen about you and how they can get in touch with you with your website. We are going to throw that up there. It is Dr. Kymi, and I put just Dr. Kymi because all over your website it's just Dr. Kymi. But Dr. Kymi Brown at thebump.life. You can go to Facebook, The Bump Life LLC on Facebook, Dr.Kymi on Instagram, Dr._Kymi, and that's KYMI. So if you're listening, Kymi is KYMI on Twitter. And then you have a TikTok channel, which
I'm trying to get a little more.
I know, but I've seen some of your TikToks and they're great. So it's Dr.Kymi at TikTok as well. So Kymi, thank you so much for being with us today. It's just great information that I am so excited to bring our viewers, and I just encourage you, just keep doing what you're doing. You are just kicking hiney and taking names with this. Everything that you are setting your hand to, I am praying that it is blessed and it is just really, really successful and helping so many people around the world. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tell everybody hi.
We will. I will. We love and miss you guys.
We'll miss you too. All right. That has been Dr. Kymi Brown, and let's go ahead and stop for directions. As I was talking with Dr. Kymi, the thing that stood out to me is to just make sure that you are not alone. When you're going through challenges, seek out help. It is out there, as she has demonstrated so well. But in life, we all face some sort of challenge on a regular basis. But we can be encouraged that we're not alone, and the hard may only be for a temporary season. 2 Corinthians 4:16-18 says, "Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." I'll say it again. If you or someone that you know is struggling in an area, whether it's with the breastfeeding or it's with raising children or being a single parent, whatever it might be, somebody or yourself that needs assistance in some area, when you feel hopeless, know that you are not alone. And I encourage you again, seek out help. It is definitely out there. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the show today. I want to thank Dr. Kymi for sharing so much great information with us on her company. I am so excited to see how far that goes. I know she's going to be successful. Thank you also to Brent for making me look good on camera here. Tune in on Wednesday for another Vindication Wednesday when we welcome another awesome cast member from the show. Until then, I hope you enjoyed yourself today as you expanded your search. Have an amazing day, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We are available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire.